Pleasant morning, everyone. Welcome to Rizal Hall of West Visayas State University. Our objectives for today are to conduct an inspection on different sections of the Central Science Laboratory. Second objective is to record and observe important features of the Central Science Laboratory. Third, to take documentations of the Central Science Laboratory at West Visayas State University. Lastly, to come up with recommendations or suggestions regarding with the enhancement of the Central Science Laboratory at West Visayas State University. For over the years, the West Visayas State University Central Science Laboratory had lived up to one of the university's tagline that says, "Where excellence is a tradition." It maintains the quality standards for instruction, research, and extension. It serves as a training hub for students with science-related courses coming from different colleges, including the College of Arts and Sciences, College of Education, College of Nursing, and College of Medicine.
Goals of the Central Science Laboratory. The Central Science Laboratory of West Visayas State University aims to provide students, faculty, and researchers with efficient and effective support in their laboratory needs in order to attain the vision and mission of the university.
Objectives of the Central Science Laboratory: to serve students, faculty, and researchers with efficient, effective, and updated equipment, apparatus, and facilities for scientific inquiries. To implement an efficient management system to safeguard life and health by ensuring that precautionary measures are properly observed, keeping in biologically handling hazardous microbial cultures, radioactive materials, and toxic chemicals. Provide technical support through the installation of experimental devices, equipment, preparation of chemical reagents, and other services to those who are engaged to scientific research and experimentation.
Sections of the Central Science Laboratory. The Central Science Laboratory is composed of 5 sections, namely the Equipment Section, Technical and Repair Section, Apparatus Section, Instrumentation Section, and the Chemical Section. These various sections of the Central Science Laboratory have their own specific functions and purposes. These sections also followed a distinct set of rules and regulations specifically for borrowing equipment and apparatuses and for requesting chemicals.
Equipment Section. Equipment Section of West Visayas State University Central Science Laboratory hosts various laboratory equipment ranging from simple, non-mechanical tools to complex machines. This equipment is generally used to either perform an experiment or take measurements and gather data. The equipment section also serves as an office for laboratory personnel who cater the needs of the learners and researchers, specifically in the process of borrowing different laboratory equipment. Features of equipment sections. 1. There is a systematic and organized process for borrowing laboratory equipment, which includes a request form obtained from the equipment section counter and a signature from the course facilitator. 2. The equipment section is divided based on various fields of specialization, including physics and biochemistry. 3. The equipment section has an enclosed cabinet which maintains the cleanliness and orderliness of the laboratory equipment, and it also serves as a protection in case there are natural disasters that may hit the locality, such as typhoons, earthquakes, or floods. 4. The equipment section has island cabinets that is used to house various equipment. 5. The equipment section has first aid kits, which is a requirement for every science laboratory all over the world. Some of the laboratory equipment found at the WVSU Central Science Laboratory Equipment Section.
Technical and Repair Section. The Technical and Repair Section of the WVSU Central Science Laboratory is mostly used for experiments and related to microbiology and biotechniques. It hosts various equipment, including non-sterile and sterile refrigerator, used for storing culture media with and without bacterial and fungal growth on their surface, respectively. This section has a waste disposal that are for organic and inorganic waste. Features of the Technical and Repair Section. The Technical and Repair Section is mostly used for laboratory works related to microbiology. This section has non-sterile and sterile refrigerator used for storing culture media with and without bacteria and fungal growth on their surface, respectively. The Technical and Repair Section also has a disposal area where learners, researchers, and laboratory personnel can segregate their waste, whether it is an organic or inorganic material. Lastly, the Technical and Repair Section is well lighted and well ventilated. Proper lighting is essential in microbial growth, specifically in photosynthetic bacteria that are being cultured in a microclimate environment. Some of the equipment found in the Technical and Repair Section.
Instrumentation Section. The instrumentation section of WVSU Central Science Laboratory is a newly built section, located between the physics laboratory room and the apparatus section. The said section is used to preserve highly sensitive specimen, thus the temperature inside the room is unusually cool. Features of the instrumentation section. 1. The instrumentation section has different types of laboratory balances, such as analytical balances and digital balances. Each type of analytical balances have a wide range of readability, from 0.002 mg to 0.1 mg, and capacities from 41 gram up to 520 grams that covers all of your analytical workflows. 2. The instrumentation section is well lighted and well ventilated. 3. The instrumentation section is spacious and the laboratory equipment inside is organized and accordingly. Some equipment found in the WVSU Central Science Laboratory instrumentation section.
Apparatus section. The apparatus section of WVSU Central Science Laboratory is where the different kinds of apparatuses or glassware are stored and organized into its specific usage. This usually contains the apparatus needed for experimentation used in biology, physics, chemistry, and other fields of science. There are also scientific models, including models of the body systems, the layers of the skin, the cell cycle, and the embryonic development. Features of the apparatus section. 1. The apparatus section houses various glassware with different functions which include storing, measuring, transferring, heating, and mixing liquid and solid substances. 2. The apparatus section has appropriate labeling of the glassware and it is organized based on their specific functions. 3. The apparatus section has an assigned laboratory personnel to answer the queries of the learners and to facilitate them in the process of requesting laboratory apparatuses. Some equipment found at the apparatus section. Chemical section. West Visayas State University's Central Science Laboratory includes one of the most important sections to have in a laboratory, that is, the chemical section. The chemical section stores different types of chemicals needed in an array of experiments. Proper storage and handling of these chemicals are crucial to ensure safety and to protect students or faculties who have access to the laboratory. Features of the chemical section. 1. Warning signs, rules and regulations in requesting chemicals, safety procedures and chemical section flow process is posted visibly. This is advantageous to secure safety. 2. The storage is well lit and ventilated. The room is in an appropriate temperature. 3. Hazardous and non-hazardous chemicals are stored separately. 4. Organic and inorganic chemicals are stored in different cabinets for easy access. For organic chemicals, it is located in the center cabinet, and inorganic chemicals are located near the wall. 5. Chemicals are organized neatly and stored in indirect sunlight. Bottles are used non-corrosive such as plastic and glass. 7. Light reactive chemicals are stored in brown or amber bottle to avoid oxidation reduction reaction. 8. Every bottle is labeled fully to recognize chemical fast and easy. And lastly, fire exit is present and functional. Instructional Science Laboratory Room, Biology Laboratory Room, Chemistry Laboratory Room, Physics Laboratory Room. Basic principles of laboratory safety precautions and waste management. Recommendations. Technical and repair section. First, organization and neatness inside the laboratory. Next, there should be a specific department, for example, for soil analysis in botany. And lastly, laminar flow cabinet should have HEPA or high efficiency particulate filter, which is a type of mechanical air filter that theoretically can remove at least 99.97% of dust, pollen, mold, bacteria, or any airborne particle with a size of 0.3 microns. Chemical section. First, cabinets should be on eye or shoulder level. The storage cabinet inside the chemical section is too elevated and some chemicals were not easy to reach. Next, labels should be checked once in a while. Some are already not visible. And lastly, additional space to allow more movement. The aisle is too narrow. Equipment section. First, we suggest that the equipment section should install appropriate air conditioning to control and maintain the right temperature since it hosts most of the culture media. Next, we recommend that the equipment section should also install blinds to control the amount of sunlight that is entering the laboratory because sunlight also affects the specimens stored inside the sterile and non-sterile refrigerator. We suggest that the equipment section should also install a laminar flow cabinet with built-in HEPA filter to ensure the safety and well-being of the researchers because this prevents the contaminants and other hazardous fumes to be absorbed or inhaled by the researchers or the students. And lastly, we suggest that the equipment section should have movable cabinets that can be adjusted in order for the place to become conducive for learning, instruction, research, and extension.
Conclusion. The West Visayas State University Central Science Laboratory has distinct characteristics that can be considered that of a high-quality facility. This includes well-lit, well-ventilated, and flexible spaces or sections. Have a complete set of equipment, apparatuses, and chemicals. Have an interactive setup, digitally equipped. Have durable faucets, electrical outlets, and fire extinguishers. Have abundant space storages, and have a fun, friendly, conducive, and safe environment for learning. We suggested a few ways on how to improve the Central Science Laboratory, such as the installation of appropriate air conditioners, setting up laminar flow cabinets with HEPA filters, proper labeling of glassware and chemicals, installation of movable cabinets, and regular checkups of equipment and apparatuses. Despite the flaws that we have observed in the Central Science Laboratory, we firmly believe that West Visayas State University aims to achieve the universal standard regarding science laboratories to ensure that they continue their tradition of producing top-notch professionals in the field of medicine, education, and other streams of science. The Central Science Laboratory is a great factor to consider if West Visayas State University wants quality science education to be obtained both by their 21st century learners and science educators. Science is a practical subject, teaching of which cannot be done properly using the pure lecture method alone. For effective science process skills and knowledge to take place, it is necessary to conduct various kinds of experiments inside a laboratory. West Visayas State University integrates conventional classroom teaching and laboratory works to ensure that their students grasp each science concept and principle thoroughly. Moreover, the use of laboratory equipment and apparatuses allows the students to manipulate and interact directly with the data gathered. Thus, they get a first hand learning experience when it comes to understanding the complex theories that comprise the scientific world. By virtue of equipping themselves with an advanced and conducive science laboratory, WVSU can contribute a lot to the scientific breakthroughs yet to come.